AI is everywhere, and we all using it every day. From recommendations on entertainment services, chatbots, and home assistants, to education, transportation, and healthcare. It is an integral part of our lives. It helps us in decision-making, reduce human errors, automate tedious tasks, and even create new products and services. Despite the many things that are beneficial with these systems, it can also bring significant risk and challenges. Already, many companies have suffered real damage from their algorithms that led to discriminatory and privacy inventing and even life-threatening outcomes. Self-driving cars been involved in terrible accidents. HR algorithms prevented qualified women from getting jobs. Security systems misidentified innocent people. Mortgage systems unfairly denied loans to qualified minorities. AI avatars been used to create a false representation of diversity. And there are so many more examples. One of the biggest topics of our century is AI and the ethical concerns around that. The concept of artificial intelligence and machine learning is nothing new. It's been around for almost 70 years. And the ethical concerns which comes with AI have been raised since the middle of the 20th century. But now, as we have access to much more powerful computing resources, and we generate even more data, we hear more about AI and its challenges as well. So, what is ethics anyway? Ethics is a process of questioning, discovering, and defending our values, principles, and purpose. It is about finding out who we are and staying true to that in the face of temptation, challenges, and uncertainty. It is not always fun, it is hardly ever easy. But if we commit to it, we set ourselves to make decisions we can stand by, building a life that is truly our own and a future we want to be part of. So ethics is defined as a general idea or beliefs that influences our behavior and attitudes. These principles are learned through personal experiences and various influences. And it can be different from culture to culture. That's why ethical issues are complex and confusing. Algorithms have a limited understanding in ethics. And they face challenges with decisions that require moral reasoning, context awareness, emotional intelligence, responsibility, creativity, and accountability. While AI algorithms are excellent at processing large amounts of data, they cannot fairly solve problems. Because technology has no ethics, but technology has creators, and its creators are people. People and society depends on ethic. When we take people, build systems, we need to think about whom our actions will affect and how. Because algorithms don't know what the consequences could be of recommending something to someone. So nobody knows a system better than its creators. However, the complexity of AI make it even more difficult to anticipate and explain even for their creators. Because a simple way that we can explain how AI works is that it has a brain, which is artificial neurons that are modeled after the human brains. They are just mathematical functions. They receive huge amount of data, usually historic data, and then process this data and analyze it, find patterns, and based on that, give us some magical intelligent outputs. But the thing is that that processing part, these algorithms can learn from themselves and they can improve themselves over time. And everything happens in the black box. That's why it is difficult for us to predict what the outcome can be. One thing that can help humans to understand these outcomes is to ask algorithms to explain why the outcome it is what it is. For example, in HR high-risk systems, if they are disqualified women, so they can explain based on which input data they have decided that qualified women are not qualified for that job. Everything is now data. Our interests are data, our movements are data, shopping lists, daily routines, and so on. On average, each person generates 2 megabytes of data each second through their online activities. So how is this data used? Smartphones and wearable devices are good examples because we have them with us all the time, everywhere, and they track us in many ways. Most of the apps and websites we visit, they collect data and communicate that with third parties to create more addictive products to target our vulnerabilities, to provide us a set of predefined options that some systems have decided for us, even though we might not be interested in them. The problem is that we make our decisions based on the information that we have access to and we get. So what kind of information we have when there are only systems who are deciding what we see? I'm sure all of you have experienced that. If we keep watching cat photos and cat videos, after a while, we only get cat-related content. While it may initially be satisfying, in the long run, it can be really dangerous and damageful for us. Because these behavior and experience-based algorithms can create something called filter bubble for us that limits the information and perspectives that we get to see. And they can exclude us from valuable information that is out there and is happening when we are not even aware of. As a result, we get stuck in that bubble, in a box, that systems have created for us and decided who we are, what we want, and what we like. That exclusion can reinforce existing biases and give us narrow understanding of the world around us, and can be detrimental to our ability to think critically and decide in an informed way. I will get back to this topic. So the thing is that it should be up to the user what kind of data they want to share and give access to. Because the main problem is not that one service is collecting data, but rather the potential for harm that can happen when multiple sources are combined, like they collect data, and these data are combined and analyzed together. And it is especially important when it comes to AI, because these systems are designed to collect data and learn how we behave. AI systems are unconscious when it comes to their actions on us as users. When I talk to people who don't have tech background, in most of the cases, they have no idea what is happening behind the scenes and what their online activities means and what kind of consequences can have for them. And that's a problem. So big tech companies have already started working on implementing terms like a responsible AI, trusted AI, explainable AI, which are great and give users more transparency and control over their data, but is not enough. Because there are two main problems. One problem is from the engineer perspective, how we collect data and use that data. And the other one is from the user perspective, like how we interact with these AI systems. We need to respect them. Basically, we need to be nice to these systems because they can learn from every interaction. So what can we do? There's a relationship between critical thinking and ethics. We usually rely on automatic thinking, passive thinking, to process information. And this is largely influenced by our experience and knowledge. By contrast, critical thinking, meaning thinking purposefully. It's about considering a range of opinions, including those that differ from our own, and trying to look at the problem from different perspectives and recognizing that every action or decision can have some consequences. And based on that, try to make choices that can lead us to better outcomes. Critical thinking is a human power because it's a key to create problem-solving, effective decision-making, and communication. And it's not simply enough that we can develop these skills, but we also need to learn and educate other people around us. It's about observing, analyzing, and then evaluating. We all have a social responsibility to not only develop effective and functional smart IT systems, but also prioritize ethical considerations, ensuring that systems we design are transparent, fair, and explainable, and working toward a solution that can benefit the whole society and not a specific group of people. We often hear that businesses have a responsibility. Milton Friedman in 1970 said that businesses as a whole cannot be said to have responsibilities because they are individuals who are to be responsible. They are individuals who are making businesses. While, yes, big companies can have a larger impact due to their size and reach when they work as a whole, but it is important to recognize that we as individuals also have a role to play in ensuring that all these smart IT systems are created and used ethically and responsibly. If we want businesses to do the right things, we first need to figure out what the right thing is, and that's an ethical question. A culture that prioritizes diversity, encourage education, open communication, and collaboration. Culture that ensures that all the perspectives are actually considered and all the voices are heard is more likely to identify potential biases and can be successful in this ever-changing world. So the bottom line is that ethics start with culture, and culture starts with people. People are diverse as these problems that we try to solve with AI systems. That's why teams that are creating such systems need to be diverse as well. AI is a tool that helps us in decision making and productivity. And it can be powerful in many ways and more effective than humans in some cases, but it is not designed to replace us entirely. So it is crucial to recognize that AI has limitations. If we let algorithms make decisions for us, we may end up with some unintended consequences that can affect our ability to thinking critically and making informed decisions. AI is only as effective as the data and algorithms that are used to train it. And it does not understand ethics. It's not capable of understanding complex human emotions, motivation, and experiences in the same way that humans are. So, to ensure that AI is being used in a respectful and ethical way, here's a crash course. Prioritize ethical considerations. Learn, educate yourself and all the people around you. Talk about these problems. Improve your superpower, practice and develop your critical thinking. Prioritize openness. Focus on diversity and inclusion, because that can lead to more innovative and fair AI systems. And ethics is difficult based on the background that we have. We have different meanings, so what is wrong or wrong, what is right or wrong can be different from people to people, and it needs practice, basically. So you can just think, what can you do differently from now on to make a better change? And with that in mind, let's create a future that we want to be part of. Thank you.